All right, so we talked conceptually about how tripwires function and the role that they play in increasing intimacy and changing the relationship and in building that sense of commitment. Now I want to show you the different types of tripwires, some examples, so that you can be thinking, for my company, for my business, for my brand, which one of these makes the most sense. But again, we want to look at it from the perspective of we're lowering the barrier to entry, okay? We want to increase the conversion rate. We want to actually get more customers by lowering the barrier to entry as low as we can possibly stand. Let's look at some of these. The first thing is the physical premium. This is somebody that someone wants, but they don't necessarily need. For us in the survival and preparedness space, we do things like give away permanent matches, so fire starters and knives and things like that. When you think about the beauty and the cosmetic market, you think about a company like Clinique. Clinique is famous for giving away big premium packages of cosmetics when you come in and come into their store, right? So companies have been leveraging premiums forever. We call this type of offer a football phone offer. You think about the old Sports Illustrated offer where they say, hey, when you sign up for Sports Illustrated, you're going to get the football phone, right? Or the fleece pullover or the duffel bag. The difference with the tripwire, though, is it's not quid pro quo. It's not you get this when you sign up for this other thing. It's you want to just buy this. It's not we'll clean your favorite chair for $89 when you let us clean 5 rooms. No. It's value in advance. It's give them the thing that they want. Give them this thing, and then once you've had a successful first transaction, then it's your right to ask for more. Once you've delivered value in advance, then you can ask for more. So offering something that you know your market wants, but they don't necessarily need, but something they think, wow, that's really, really, really cool. If it's a lower dollar offer, lower barrier to entry, those can be very effective tripwire offers. So think premium. What would be a good premium for your market? Doesn't apply to all. That's why we have more. Here's another option. Small but critical. Small but critical. One of my business partners, he owned one of the largest craft supply companies. And they also were one of the largest candle supply companies in North America. The way that he was able to build this massive company from scratch is he sold these candle wicks. He sold candle wicks. So everybody else is out there saying, we have the best candle supplies in the business at the lowest prices and blah, blah, and they're all sounding like everybody else. He simply said, hey, I've got a great deal on candle wicks. You should buy your candle wicks from me because I'm less expensive than everyone else. Now, when someone bought a wick from him, guess what they were wanting to do? Make a candle. Like nobody who owns candles buys replacement wicks, right? So if you're going to buy a wick, it's because you intend to make a candle, which means you need wax, you need molds, you need fragrance oils, you need dyes, you need all these other things that go into candle making, that once he knew that he had sold someone a wick, then I got a person who would probably buy some other things, but he didn't try to sell them everything. He didn't try to sell them the whole enchilada. He started with the wick. Okay, another example. This is an eBay seller of all things who sells very high-end guitars, very high-end guitars. So what do they sell? Well, they sell guitar picks. Because obviously, if somebody's buying a guitar pick, especially if they're buying them 100 at a time, they're probably quite the guitar enthusiast. So he could say, great, we've got these guitar picks, and it's not you get this great deal on guitar picks when you buy a guitar. No, that's quid pro quo. It's this for that. No, they're saying we have the best deal on guitar picks you can find anywhere else. If you want 100 guitar picks for $8, we got them. 100 guitar picks for $8, here you go. Then once the transaction has been finalized, once it's been successful, once they've delivered their value in advance, it's an extremely great offer. Once they're talking to a buyer, once they're talking, this is a big difference because when this person buys these 100 guitar picks, they are a buyer. The relationship's changed, the intimacy has changed, trust is being built. They are a buyer. Now the seller can go to them and say, hey, you just bought a bunch of guitar picks. I'm guessing it's because you played the guitar. If so, you might want to check out our vast selection of super awesome guitars. Another type of tripwire offer that would be small but critical would be strings. And for example, if you sold vinyl strings, then you would know that you have a classical guitar player as opposed to steel strings, right? So the tripwire can also inform the type of buyer that you have. So think, how can it be doing that? So guitar picks and candle wicks, small but critical, all right? Books. Books can make fantastic tripwires. If you're professional practice, if you're in professional services of any type, consulting, coaching, training, anything, books are outstanding. This is an example of the Obamacare Survival Guide. This was published by Newsmax, which is a politically conservative site. But they're smart. They know that anybody who's going to buy a book on the Obamacare Survival Guide, see how the book title itself informs the market? I mean, if you're pro-Obama, and pro-national health care, you don't have any interest in buying the Obamacare Survival Guide. You're thinking there's nothing to survive from here. It's actually helping me survive, right? So by titling the book that, they're able to call out to their market. They're able to get their market to raise their hand. And for only $4.95, because they're selling the book at a discount on their site from what it's available at Amazon, they're able to change the relationship. They're able to get commitment. And books are great because books, remember we talked about the commitment happening in two places, both in somebody's wallet and on their calendar. Books do both because not only are they opening up their wallet, but they're also going to need to spend some of their time to actually consume the book. So you kind of get a twofer there. Another place where you get a twofer is on paid webinars and teleseminars. So webinars and teleseminars, because you are asking for someone's time, because you are asking them to block off time, that is a tripwire. You are asking for commitment in the form of calendar. Now, if you want to double up on that commitment, then try testing out a paid webinar. That's what we did some years back at Digital Marketer when Gmail came out and announced that they were going to be rolling out their promoted tab and everybody freaked out. We rushed very quickly and we did a paid webinar. So we did a paid training, a live training that we charged, I think, $7 for. So it was only $7, but again, we got them to take out their wallet. So we got commitment in the wallet, and we also got commitment in the calendar. Okay? So that's for a paid webinar, but even a free one at least gets you commitment from the calendar. Same with trials, right? Same with trials. We talked about in the lead magnet section how a trial is not a great lead magnet. A trial, however, is a great tripwire because you're asking for someone's time. So to have somebody opt in for a report, so this is Help Scout. Help Scout is a customer support tool, right? It's a customer support tool. So if they were to publish a lead magnet on, the top 20 reply templates for, frequently asked customer questions, right? So maybe they did a template, or maybe they did something on how to improve your customer satisfaction rating above 96% or something like that, right? If they had that lead magnet, then they could very appropriately say, hey, if you want to do all this stuff, Help Scout makes doing it a whole lot easier. You should take a demo, or you should go for a trial. When they sign up for that, when they fill this out, that's a tripwire. The relationship is changing. The person is now moving from merely a lead into this prospect status because they're saying, okay, I believe in this enough that I'm willing to set aside some of my time and some of my attention, which are the most valuable commodities that we as human beings really have, and I'm going to give it to you. That's an elevated level of commitment. Now I'm going to show you in just a moment how if you are doing demos, or you are doing trials, how you can really plus this offer. Okay, so I'll get to that in just a little bit. Another way is through software or a small plugin. So if you're in the software space, as opposed to selling a suite of tools, break it up. Break it up. We call that splintering. I'm going to talk about it a little bit more, but break it up. So if you have, we have a tool that's a market research tool. It's called FreshKey. Now, FreshKey can do a whole lot of different things. It can do market research in Google and in Amazon. So rather than talking about everything, we talk about, in some cases, and can break out one that's just about Amazon, right? So we can kind of break it up and get a little more specific there. But a small, low-price plugin or a small piece of software that just does one thing, as opposed to a software suite, a tool suite, that can make a good tripwire. And then there's the a la carte service. The a la carte service. And I love this story here about the company 1-800-GOT-JUNK. Now, if you're not familiar with 1-800-GOT-JUNK, they're actually a Canadian-based franchise that they do just what the name and what this picture would imply. They will come to your home, they will fill up a giant truck, and they will haul off your junk. Now, this franchise, they're a very successful company. I have a friend of mine who did a lot of work with this company. That's why I'm fortunate to have some insider knowledge on this. They were a very, very, very successful company when they went to my friend, but they were flat. They were flat. Their sales were basically flat, and they didn't know how to increase it. Well, what my friend suggested, which was pretty smart, was first we need to improve your lead magnet. So he said, what's the number one question that everybody's asked? Well, they want to know, how much does it cost to haul off a couch? How much does it cost to haul off a TV? How much does it cost to haul off a dresser? It's like, well, what are you saying to them? Well, we're saying we need to come out and we need to give you a quote. Well, that's not answering the question, right? That's, we'll all come out there. So the first thing that he did was he put up a menu of services. Here's how much it costs to do this. He answered the question. That was the lead magnet. The second thing that he did was far, 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 far more powerful, and that was the creation of a compelling tripwire offer. So what he did, and this was brilliant, is he ran ads for 1-800-GOT-JUNK that said, we're 1-800-GOT-JUNK. And if you're like a lot of folks out there, you probably have an old busted out TV. This was back when, you remember all the TVs were the big kind of, the big thick CRT or whatever, cathode ray tube TVs, and everybody's switching over to flat screens. So, but you had a lot of people who had these big TVs and they didn't know how to get rid of them. You can't just throw them off. They got like mercury in them and all this other bad junk. So saying, do you have one of those old TVs you don't know what to do with it? Well, we'll come out and we'll haul off that old TV for just $29. We'll haul off that old TV for just $29. So when he first suggested this, the company flipped out. They're like, we'll lose money. It costs way more than $29 just to send, a couple of people in a truck to someone's home. We're gonna lose it. And he said, yeah, but this is important. But of the people that call you to pick up their TV, how much other junk do you think they have laying around? Do you think there's a good chance that if you're there with the truck, they'd be happy to have you haul off some of that other stuff too? So fortunately, they found one franchisor that was brave enough to test it, and it worked. It worked like gangbusters, and then they rolled it out across the entire company, and their sales increased. I don't want to say how much because I don't know if I'm at liberty to say that, but it was more than double and it was more than triple, over a very, very short period of time. Their sales went up a lot as a result of that offer, of just making a compelling offer and of trusting that when somebody raised their hand and they said, yes, I have a TV and $29, please get rid of it, that there would be more to the relationship than just that. Just in the same way that you trust, and that anybody who's in a dating type capacity trusts that when you ask someone to go meet you for coffee, that everybody kind of understands that you're not just in the business of giving away free coffee, That there's a hope that if that goes well, that the relationship will progress. This is what tripwires do. We tested this in the agency space with a marketing agency. They actually did search engine optimization, and they did search engine optimization for blue collar services primarily. So this was actually a locksmith trade show. So they would go out to locksmiths and they say, hey, locksmiths, we can really improve your Google rankings. And so they were going out to trade shows like everybody else saying, let us get you ranked on the first page of Google. And everybody was saying that. And for the most part, these locksmiths didn't believe it because they'd been screwed plenty of times. So we had them change the offer. I said, look, let's change up the offer. Don't promise to get them on the first page of Google. Just say, hey, look, here's what we'll do. For just $20, we'll go and we'll claim your Google Plus listing, right? So that you can actually get ranked and get put on the map for the local side. And we'll get you set up on Google AdWords with a $100 AdWords credit. That's it. For $20, we'll claim your listing and we'll get you set up on Google AdWords and we'll start running an ad just for your branding, $100. And they got the Google credit from Google. New advertisers from Google can get a $100 Google credit to get started. That was all they did. Now, this was the interesting thing. That was something that they were going to do anyway for new clients. It was something that they were going to do anyway. So we just had them splinter off this a la carte service. And so instead of saying, again, going back to an example I used, I'm Pedro, vote for me and I'll make all your wildest dreams come true. We said, look, I know everybody out there is promising to get you on the first page of Google. Here's what we want to do to start things off. Give us $20 and we'll do this, this, and this. And you'll be better off than you are right now. Now, here's what happened, and this is really cool at this particular trade show. All right, there were 2,000 attendees at the trade show, according to the promoter. 603 people approached the booth, and we know that to be true because if you look at this guy over here, if you look closely, you'll see that his hands are behind his back. That's because he had one of those little clickers. So every time somebody walked up to the booth, he was clicking and he was counting. So we were tracking all of this stuff. So 2,000 trade show attendees, 603 approached the booth, 87 purchased our Tripwire offer, the let us just claim your listing and get you started with Google and get you $100 in ad credits for $20. 19 of them, though, immediately converted to a $500 a month. 19 converted immediately to a $500 a month core offer. They took the core offer, and they actually had to ask for it. We weren't even going to offer it at the show. When we started fulfilling this, like, what else do you guys do? It's like, well, we can help get you ranked organically. Like, yeah, why don't we do that too? In the past, had we made this offer, people fled. They're like, no, I want no part of it. But when we delivered value in advance, when we said, hey, want to get coffee? And then we met them for coffee, and we bought them coffee, and when we sat down and talked to them, we weren't creepy weirdos. They said, yep, let's go out for dinner. That's how the process works. That's how conversion funnels work. That's what we're building here. So 19 converted, but check this out. Another 23 more converted later after follow-up. So through follow-up, through the return path, what we're going to be talking about towards the end, we got another 23. So before, on average, when they did a trade show, and they were basically done with trade shows, they just weren't working for them, each show average, they'd get about 3 new clients at $500 a month. 3 clients. At a trade show of about 2,000 people, they'd catch 3. You know, like Forrest Gump, a couple more, and you get yourself a cocktail, right? So each show averaged 3 new clients at $500 a month. With this new version, they got 42 new clients at $500 a month. 42 new. 3 versus 42. That is the power of a compelling Tripwire offer. Now, if you want some ideas for some a la carte service ideas, check out Fiverr. Fiverr is genius because in addition to people who are willing to dress like a clown and sing a message to you, you also have service providers who are saying things like, hey, let me install WordPress for you for just $5. Now, the people doing that aren't getting rich installing WordPress for people at $5, but if they get somebody to give them $5 to install WordPress, then that person is setting up a WordPress site, a WordPress blog. There's a good chance that they're going to want templates and themes and extra work done. So that's exactly what they say. They install WordPress and they say, hey, here's the custom, or here's the default theme. If you'd like for us to customize this default theme or add in some others, we could do that for an additional charge. They use the $5 as a tripwire to get more design and development business. And you'll see loads of examples of that. So if you do any type of service, I would highly recommend searching for it on Fiverr and see what other people are doing. Because this is basically just a directory of tripwires. It's just a directory of tripwires. Groupon, by the way, is much the same way. A lot of the Groupon offers that you see are fundamentally tripwire offers. A lot of them just kind of poorly executed. Okay, so those are the different tripwire types that are available to you. So start thinking right now, which one of these would be most relevant to my brand, to my company? Which one, should we maybe try? We've got some other exercises and things that we can walk through to really narrow down, but start thinking now, of all these different tripwire types, what's the one that really piqued your interest? Was it the guitar Wix? Was it the, what was the one that got you? Be thinking about that, and then I'll see you in the next video.